best champion in the Jarvan. Now I fear for someone like Yagao, but also for that bottom lane dive that we talked about.
Damn, this is such a rough mid-jungle to play up against. Elise and LeBlanc will kill you in an instant. Their CC chains are very easy to follow up with. It's all down to Flawless and Yagao, really. If they play to the occasion, they could really just steamroll this matchup and take it into the top lane as well. Vladimir doesn't have a lot of options when it comes to enemy teams trying to tower dive him. So really on the knife's edge type of pick. It either works really well or it fails completely on its face. It
really does. I want to see how it goes in this Game 5 because everything's thrown out the window here in this series. Game 5, the best of one, tournament life on the line, the grand final on the line. And you again look at that 2v2. Our director loves showing it. Tien, Doinbeat on your right-hand side. This is the mid 2v2. You're looking at Flawless, Yagao.
This is so important. Now, of course, the grounded ability from the Miasma can allow you an easy EQ, but you have to be very close for that to happen, and Elise is always lurking around. Yeah. This is Doinbe's legacy on the line compared to the redemption and the sophomore success story from Yagao and Zoom in the top lane. A lot of story rides upon this.
For JDG, look at their last year. Their journey to Worlds denied. Their journey in 2018 denied as a whole. FPX didn't even get to make the journey, but now with Doinbe on the roster, it looks so perfect. But here in this game number 5, we'll find out. JDG versus FPX, the semifinal comes to a conclusion as we find out if Imp returns to former glory or if Doinbe can finally break the curse and give himself a chance. It's first versus 8th. And his voice, as the fans think LGD is still here. The voice of JDG will be much like mine at the end of this game, completely gone. Let's see how it erupts, because the last game was a 44-kill slugfest that ended with 1 pick from Imp.
And that was all it needed to take for JD Gaming to claw their way back. I hope FBX chilled out. I hope they've cooled down on their
this is
their
not chilled out.
This is a correct play, though.
Okay.
So I'm fine with that.
Yep. That's very fair. So we're going to start on the blue side. Opposite sides here is Flawless towards the red buff. There is vision there. They saw the full-on invaders. Everyone cleared out the ward, and Imp is just holding the wave back. And let's see what they can do.
This is really smart from Imp. So what he's doing is allowing the minion wave from FBX to actually target his own minion wave.
Yeah.
And that should allow it to push into him. He doesn't have to risk the potential level 2 gank from Tien, Jarvan. That's the reason he's doing it.
That's true. We're going to see the mid lane engage as well. Flawless working towards this jungle. Smite comes down. Tien's level 2. The flash over. Cocoon into spider form. Flawless going for the 1v1. Where's the bottom lane? Not involved as Repel comes up. Tien gets the smackdown, but Imp and Lumao might have to burn a flash to get over the wall. The hail of arrows not there. The winds of war as well. Tien is out. Doesn't have the flash available. He's in the back of the pit as Flawless in the river. Imp is getting mighty low as well. First blood over to Doinbe. JDG caught in the river. Flash forward. LWX and Doinbe get the blood. FPX. It begins again!
And it's a 3-for-1 in their favor. That was so good on Flawless. I thought he was going to lock down the kill, but the triumphs come in. The minion wave is pushing. Massive win for FPX. They're already up 1k, and they should be able to deny even more in this bot side.
You have a Cassiopeia or a Cogmore that just got kills. LWX got first blood. Tien survived as well. Clement, Cassiopeia has a tier at 2 minutes 50 into the game. Doinbe is accelerated, to say the least.
Let's just watch this play. Really smart on Tien to instantly get out. Flawless does tag him with a red buff, but has to flash himself just to get most of the damage down. And it looks like he's about to clean it up. He's just waiting for that Q execute to finish, but doesn't actually get it. Transfers back to human. Lumao misses the Q. So tight on that play. LWX uses the heal to keep him alive, and then you see Tien with the triumph getting back to full health. They do finally find Doinbe, but it's a 3-for-1 trade.
More the sidestep from Tien to walk away from the winds of war. The initial damage so much more than the gale itself. Fall's going to try and bring momentum back into his advantage, but with the Cocoon landing down, we're just going again. JDG on FPX. Now for the flag and drag onto Yagao. He has to flash, Cassiopeia onto Flawless. Repel eventually comes through, but he has no one to jump to. Here goes Doomby again. Kimgoon picks up a kill. JDG, this is going horribly wrong.
And sometimes you flip the coin, sometimes you get heads, and sometimes you get tails. Really well done by FBX to predict the sustained invade. They have Crisp in position to counter Lumal. We were talking about JD Gaming. They do like to gamble a lot, and that was just one dice roll too far. Their support did not arrive on scene fast enough.
I wanted to talk about the pick potential, what JDG can offer with this composition in game number 5. But I'm going to start talking about FPX and what they can do from now. Tien has 4 assists, 100% kill participation, heading towards the top side of the map. 1,600 gold lead already, and Flawless is level 2. Still picks up the ward, hits the level from that, but is behind in relative scaling sense and how this game's going to go from here on.
I want to change how this game should have actually gone. It's not really about who wins the early tempo. It's about parting gift there. It's about who can chill off faster. Game 4 was crazy. There was a lot of plays that should not have happened or should not have worked.
This one feels crazy as well, Clement.
It is crazy, but I feel like JD Gaming is losing their cool more so than FPX.
Okay.
FPX are finally stabilized. They won the plays that they should have won. They had priority in the bot side, so they were able to arrive to Tien's assistance before JD Gaming could, and Chris also read the play that Galio was going to come towards the top side very, very well. It was really smart counter. He was there in position, and that allowed Doinby to pick up another
So I'm assuming now, Clement, we wait for FPX again to slow things down. They've already got the picks, they've already got the scaling on their side, and JDG, tempo needs to go back to them. Am I right?
Yeah, if you're playing in the least right now, you have to speed things up, and if you see that build, Flawless is going to go for the Moby build. It's a super risky one, but whenever he plays the Elise, he's going Mobies. If you don't find a kill within 5 minutes of picking that up, you're pretty much dead because you cannot farm with that item.
You have to react to Flawless on the mobility boots, but more so Flawless has to react to FPX with Tien and Doomby starting to get the shove out as iconically they do so. Small CS lead for Doomby in the mid lane. Whereas the bottom lane there quite even for the Cogmore after the kill. Double longsword in hand. He picked that up before. Be curious because Doomby, he went back, he picked up the Negatron cloak. There's going to be a lot of negation of damage against Yagao. And Yagao, he picked up Electrocute in this lane, so that's already the damage just demoted from the
I love the Negatron because you're going up against double AP in the mid and jungle from JD Gaming.
Yeah.
Negatron allows you to get priority in lane. This is probably a bait too far. I don't think JD Gaming is going to fall for that.
Yeah, although we actually like, come on, I'm tasty. Unfortunately, Imp doesn't follow it up. Tien's going to be caught out here as well by Lumao, who checks the brush. So away from backing for now, while Flawless is actually on the bottom side, has not gone for the mobility boot rush.
Okay. He's actually still going to go for the Stalker. So this is less mobility, of course, but you still get very good ganking results with this item. I thought he was going to go down the crazy route and just make this game end at 10 minutes. I mean, if I get a gank, we're still in.
We might. Let's be honest. Here comes Justice Punch, shielded Duran. Tien can't get out the flag and drag. Not successful as the spike comes through. He has to flash. Yagao looking to chase up, but that's a small win for JDG.
The boy lives. He still has 2 stacks of... Oh, okay, good. That was the Varus stacks right there.
Yep.
Does manage to work out again, and Chris has been so on point with helping out his teammates this game. Both times roaming with Tien was just spot on.
Really has been 0-0 and 3 on the Brahmin, picked up boots, and not going to expect too much more. The main item you're looking at right now is we bring our attention back to the mid lane. We see a tier that's been stacking up since the 2nd minute here in our game number 5. So Doomby's in such a comfortable position. Yagao picks up a kill earlier on, however, and it still has a lost chapter. So ability to roam up with Doomby, who's now looking at the top side.
Zoom knows something's going up.
That's the flash, that's the Hema plate. Can Zoom turn this around underneath the turret? Here comes Petrifying Gaze, locked in place, staring at a wall.
And that cannon barrage did nothing. A little bit unfortunate on Zoom right there, but was really slow on getting away, and that's what the Negatron cloak really allows you to do. You can put your face in brushes and not worry about dying against LeBlanc and Flawless.
And look who picked up the kill there, Clement. Doomby has 3 kills now on this Cassiopeia early. You are going to try and pick up some turret plating, should be able to get 1, but the Vladimir walking towards either mid or top side, not sure at the moment. But getting the gangplank behind after being 20 CS ahead. Zoom will have to walk back to the top side while Vladimir is still not in his regular lane.
And just trying to hold the wave as Doinby has to make a late rotation. Pretty smart on FBX's part to continue with that play. Yeah. And they are trying to force feed a lot of the CS over to Cassiopeia's side to make her stronger. Zoom sniffed it out. He knew instantly when Gimgoon was walking up that this was about to happen. And he tried to get the cannon barrage on a hopeful kill onto Doinby. Doesn't really happen.
Did tank up the turret, so there was an attempt there for Zoom, although it doesn't work out. Flash still in hand for the top lane. Gangplank, if there is a return, still has the CS lead up there as well. So a good news story if JDG can accelerate the Gangplank by any means.
So I actually asked Doinby about how he can find so many side lane tower dive type of kills, and he said the most important part was knowing which side the enemy jungler was on. And a lot of times FPX don't even know based on the information in-game. They know because of the VOD studies that they do. They said Warhorse is very diligent in giving them information on enemy jungler trends, and they're able to basically have a sixth sense of where Flawless is going to be, and in that play you could see Elise on the other side of the map, no one to help out, easy 3v1 dive.
Flawless doesn't have the mobility boots as well, so it's so important here in this early game against JDG. Level 6 now on the Elise, which means absolutely nothing, but it does considering that Tien is now a level behind himself. Blue buff's going to be picked up too, so that's delayed for a little while longer before the Cataclysm is available. 20 CS the difference that Flawless has recovered, and that this early game has been quelled considering the gold lead was already about 1,500.
I'm really surprised at JD Gaming's tenacity. They're only 300 gold behind at this point. Sure, a lot of it has to do with the top lane matchup that Gangplank has. It is an advantageous matchup, but Flawless this time around, he's paying more attention to farming than I've ever seen him pay in an entire split.
I mean, he has to, and he's going to go in for the invade right now. Look at where Tien is. Going to spot him out. Cocoon, mid-range, the flag and drag. Delays sometimes as Yagao gets the double chain. He goes back over to the distortion. 2v1, he survives. While Chris engages, comes down with the Glacial Fissure. That misses. Over with the blast cone. Doinby not even going to chase that up, but that's an ulti burn for a summoner in Yagao.
Yeah, good trade right there on FBX's side. If they get a much more important summoner out from Yagao, that's going to take down his 1v1 kill potential. But that was a play that should have worked. I actually think that was a great play from JD Gaming. The spots were timed very perfectly, but Tien outplayed. Tien found the EQ combo still during before the Cocoon could fully shut him down, and he was able to take himself very close to where Doinby was, and Doinby was in range of helping, so Yagao had to back out.
Really did, and even right now you can see that as he gets back to lane, even the CS is not safe. Doinby and Tien Tien will be actually spotted out moving into the red side. Jungle Flawless is towards the bottom side. That control there much needed when he does transition back up towards the top side where Gimgoon is.
This is smart. All he needs to do is show, and Zoom is going to be pretty afraid of that. Now, I will say JD Gaming actually got quite lucky on the Ocean Break. They lost a big fight in the bot lane. JD Gaming got the early reset, and they just went for the Drake. So
great for you, Gal.
Good way to rebound, and just looking at the gold right there, 200 gold in favor of Zoom.
Bottom lane as well has an advantage. Look at LWX and Imp. This is CS that's similar to that top side of the map. Also along the lines of 20 for Imp, who just picked up Blade of the Ruin King and headed back to lane. LWX, of course, with the same build, picked up the same item. That kill is favoring him here in this 1v1 matchup. It's not like the Gangplank where you get the extra bonus gold. LWX relying on Crisp a lot more, and hopefully not Yagao, who's starting to roam down.
This Ocean is just so crucial for the early game. It's just these things that when random dragons happen, you lose a fight and you reset first. You actually sometimes get an advantage.
That's true.
Which is pretty, it's pretty counter logic at times, but it does happen.
I know you don't like
games.
dragon RNG sometimes, Clement.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. No. Sometimes like this, you say it's absolutely fair. Flawless will be playing on it as he looks to enter the bottom lane. Yagao towards the blue buff, but LWX and Chris, there's a 4-man dive that's incoming. Do FPX know? I think they went over a ward.
Tien is really far away, and they can fully spot the Jarvan before he even comes in. This should be a tower dive.
He uses flag and drag onto the Raptors, so Chris gets locked down. Cocoon's there. Golden with the stopwatch. Flawless takes a turret shot. In comes the block. LWX takes the sigil as Doinby's coming in. Flashes the flash. Great reaction from Flawless. That was instantaneous.
Really good moment finding right there, and pretty cool on Yagao to find the time to get towards this bottom side as well. Whoa! Okay, no,
coming close, that means he's caught out, has to flash away from the Cataclysm. Here comes the teleport as well, heal to get the bonus movement speed for Imp, and Gimgoon has to commit away from the Gangplank lane. That is massive for the Vladimir.
Yeah, this does look like the bit of the mental boom that we've been seeing that Tabe was mentioning. After that game 4, when you were about to win that game, it's so hard to keep your composure. I think FPX are are losing out to the residual effects of that Game 4.
I mean, teams are trying to get back into the bottom lane, but look at this. LWX gets hit on by Imp, walks away. He wants none of that business, while an Infernal Dragon needs to be contested. Doomby at the moment is in the best position with the Abyssal Mask, and they need to rely on him more because Zoom has just won out this lane by about 40 CS. Turret going down shortly as well.
And there's no one to rotate.
You hope for someone to rotate.
He should be able to take the tower before anyone is able to get up there, and he's already finished the Triforce. Like you were talking about, 40 CS up. This is a pretty insane laning phase from the GamePlank.
Yeah, and Zoom on a carry like this, get ready because our late game is going to be explosive.
Yeah, that didn't need to happen for FPX. That teleport, they did not net the kill earlier on. Imp was able to flash out of the Cataclysm. And FPX were kind of forced to go for the Infernal Drake. They didn't have a choice in that objective trade. I definitely think JD Gaming won out.
Yeah. Okay, so good for them to quell what that early game was. A 4-for-1 trade at the 5-minute mark, or sorry, 3-minute mark. You say GG, it's over. Pack it up, Game 5 is not ours. But for them to come back and for Flawless to still have that 20 CS lead, for mid to actually be up in farm, for bottom lane to still be there, all lanes are winning out here for JDG. And this is what you want if you're Coach Home. You're saying, yes, we've brought this back. We have a 2K gold lead. And at 15 minutes in the game, we can keep this up.
Yeah, we brought them down to our level. FPX are a sophisticated arsenal of weapons. They have laser-guided missiles. They have Gatling guns, rail weapons. But JD Gaming have a single rock. However, they're very good with that rock. And they will beat you repeatedly with that rock until you cow down into submission. And that's actually what they've done so far. They've took FPX down to their level.
That's a very good comparison, Clement. I like that. Let's see if they can continue beating them with this rock, because FPX, their missiles are set on the Rift Herald, and looks like this one would just be given over while the rest of JDG move across the mid lane, continue moving across the map, getting deep vision off, and securing the bottom side with the help of Imp.
So they really need to trade this one back, and I think it has to be the mid lane for them. The mid lane's the one that's going to prevent Yagal from doing most of his roams. They're actually losing out so heavily on the bottom side right now.
Yeah, Jarvan just clearing out his jungle team, going back now as well. Imp gets the turret, gets the gold on top of it as well, is heading for the next one. I mean, can Kim Goon survive this? Level 11, Lumao has the level difference there. Shielded around, not going to flash towards him. So back to the turret, Demolish Stack going to come through as well, and Kim Goon cannot wave clear here. You can even see the turret plating that's gone down, and how JDG are out-rotating FPX.
Yeah, Gingbun is actually just paying the price for his bot lane sins, because the bot lane needs to get out of this matchup. They've already lost it. The Blade of the Ruin King is completed right there, and there's already a 20 CS lead on Imp. So they need to back away from this. They wanted to get the lane swap. They really need to trade something back for the Herald. But even if they do get something, you have to remember that this was at the cost of 2 towers.
Yeah, and look, Doomby has the Rift Herald as well. It's going to make his backs a lot faster, but when are they going to put it down? Still, Yagal sits in the mid lane, hasn't been able to roam, which seems to be the only good news story here for FPX. But still with their composition, you're hoping they can pace this out. You look and say, all right, 4K gold lead for JDG, but if we can make this game go another 20 minutes, then that gold will most likely mean nothing.
You just need to think about how risky it is for JD Gaming to get their damage off. Barrels are not guaranteed. LeBlanc has to use her face to actually step on someone. Yeah. So if you have Cassiopeia and Vladimir, there's still a very high chance, even if you're like 5 or 6K down,
you got a Cogmore as well, you know? You got a Cogmore against Avaris. It's very risky. Imp showed that to us in game number 4, but you still got a Cogmore. That's going to be a good news story if FPX can get there, but Imp's not going to let him. He's got a Blade of the Ruin King, Gwynsu's Rage Blade, 2 items. Actually, the first one on Summoner's Rift as far as I can see as well, so Imp in a very good position here in this AD carry.
Yeah, he did very well with the lane. After what a disastrous start they had, he was able to rebound. And to be fair, we do see the Varus as being quite a hard counter against the Kog'Maw.
That's true.
The win rate in the LPL, I believe it's about 70% towards the Varus and only 30% to the Kog'Maw. A lot of the times, he wins the lane, and moreover, he's able to lock down the Kog'Maw as the puppy's trying to dish his damage out from the front of the team composition. Chains of Corruption is very deadly against the Kog.
It's going to be very relevant soon as well. Doomby trying to zone off the members of JDG's Rift Herald. Charges, gets its might off, but doesn't get the turret. FPX have to back away. JDG doing such a good job of denying FPX that momentum that they need.
And this is pretty rough for FPX because when they didn't manage to secure that tower, they effectively gave over 2 minion waves towards JD Gaming across the map.
Puppey needs to go to the vet. LWX half health. Zoom just barrels them down. He's going to set up another chain as well. Takes a couple of 2 turret shots for my liking, but Yigao's coming in as well. It looks like the next wave could do this for JDG.
Man, it might be more than the vet next time. It might be the morgue.
Oh my god, Clever. No, not here.
Damn, that's a lot of damage. And to give credit, I actually really like what FPX did with their draft. They said, you know, the first game, we have a bit of a tilt. LWX was sniped out. We cannot pull all the damage on him alone.
Yep.
So at least they have people to finish off the team fight, even if Kog'Maw is put down.
But what looks like, you know, a composition that would do FPX fans proud. 2 losing lanes. Make it 3 eventually as well, because Yigao went steady, so not necessarily a losing lane, but Lamont came out of it alive.
Yeah, he did. I think the key factor right here is that FPX did not actually manage to continue their snowball from mid and jump.
Yep.
You're sitting on 3-1. You should be able to get a lot of vision onto Flawless. Actually, their first 2 plays were so massive in their favor. Getting an extra kill onto Flawless. Flawless started the game out with 2 deaths. That's how bad it actually was.
Yeah.
But they were able to get back primarily because, number one, they avoided all of the follow-up ganks coming in from Tien, and Flawless actually scaled back.
Wow.
He just farmed up.
Such a testament. Flawless has to flash away. Locked down, concussive blows. Has to
nowhere to
repel,
go.
but he has nowhere to go. You're right, Clement. Jarvan locks him down, dunks him as Zoom trying to follow up, and Tien going to take a barrel to the face as Cannon Barrage comes through, but they can't get him. Imp trying to snipe him down, but he's already out of there. Good pick. That's Flawless, and even Gimgoon to threaten from the side.
So they trade 1 kill from Flawless, and they should get the mid tower. I would still say small lead for JD Gaming.
Yep. But FPX still trying to trade back. Barrel comes through. Doomby takes a chunk of it again. He'll pick up the CS, so the turret does eventually go down, like you mentioned, opening up the map for JDG.
Ooh, this is so difficult to deal with if you're FPX. How do you actually target down Zoom? He has the range advantage, and I don't think FPX actually have the engage potential.
He has a more of Malmortius. I mean, he's got 2 items, and he's got the tenacity boost, so Doomby is not going to chunk him.
I really want to see how they deal with the game plank later in game. It has to be done. So Flawless actually takes a Winter's Bite and still goes forward for the chunk. Okay, that's not worth it. I think that was just a misplay on Flawless's part. He did have help coming in, but definitely not worth it.
No, does go down 0-3 and 2. Doesn't describe how his game 3's been in terms of recovery. 40 CS still in the lead here as Tien has been playing reactively in this game and is a level behind. Look at how this game's going though still for FPX. 5k gold behind, but another Infernal's about to spawn. Baron's a threat if JDG can lock onto it soon enough, but FPX, still, the bottom side, they had no priority there, and it's good for JDG if they can deny away the second Infernal.
This is just absolutely insane that JD Gaming are now 5,000 gold ahead.
Yeah.
I feel like the macro play from FPX was so rushed. They forced themselves into an early Infernal and they traded the top side for it. And when they went for the Herald, remember, the Herald didn't even get a tower.
Yeah.
They traded 2 towers for the Herald.
The tower's still there in the mid lane.
Yeah, it didn't work out. So it's all just these small things staggering each other together. So even though they got objectives, they did not transfer that into actual gold on the map, into the pockets of their own carries. And that's a big reason why we're seeing this this deficit right here.
Yeah.
It's really insane. Props to JD Gaming for their recovery and also just pulling off the mistakes here from FPX.
That's right. It's going to require a miracle fight this early in the game for FPX to get someone, and it might be Flawless as they've got themselves concussive blows locked up. Repel's not there. He won't be able to flash away either. Petrifying gaze as Cannon Barrage comes in, but Zoom is nowhere nearby. They poke out here, but it's just Imp and Luamau. Flawless dies again. FPX are repeat offending this jungler.
Yeah, so Flawless actually goes out of his way to put damage onto Tien. A little bit of a curious decision right there. I think that's some of the communication issues that we're seeing coming out between JD Gaming's team as well. So both sides, you know, slipping up just a little bit, but there's no harm actually done. If you look at the Dragon timer, everyone's still going to be respawning in time.
But you're giving more gold over to Doomby, so although he's 0 and 4 in the gold, or Flawless rather, is not worth too much anymore, Doomby is just getting money. 2 items, Seraph's Embrace. He already picked up the Majora's Mask there as his first item. So now you have a 2-item Cassiopeia who negates a lot of the AP damage out of Flawless and Yagao. and has not been turned by the mask just yet. Doombe level 14 and FPX hovering around the Baron, clearing out vision before this Infernal Sports.
Oh, this is so interesting. They're trying to fork JD Gaming at this point. They actually have the damage to do it. All three of their carries do a lot of damage at this point. 2 of them at percentage health. So there's a real chance that they could force JD Gaming towards the Baron and then just sneak an Infernal.
Yeah. Let's see how FPX can try and outplay. Quick look at the gold. Doombe, you'd think he's so much further ahead. The observer's like, no, sorry. Oh, I don't want to show that. Zoom is a milestone ahead at this point. You know, still a kill onto the top lane, but 50 CS ahead. Gimgoon has fought his way back a little bit there, but almost 3 items on Zoom. Zoom's level 14. Gimgoon is caught up in levels, has 2 items himself, but the Vladimir is going to require to find a big fight here for FPX. Gimgoon has the items to do so, but he's in the top lane with teleport available.
If FPX turn this game, it's going to be in front of their inhibitor towers. I think the way the game is going right now, I don't see them really holding on to the map. JD Gaming has split pushers. Yagao has been uncontested throughout on the side lane so far.
And they lose another Infernal, goes over to JDG, triple Elemental, and FPX just want this mid lane turret. You can see positioning around Doombe and Tien trying to find the pickoff as Lumao returns back into the wave, but turret finally drops down. A good news story for FPX. Baron's available. They can now clear out vision free of charge.
I'm just trying to look for the catch potential on FPX. They do have at least concussive blows, and the range of Kog'Maw has been able to snipe a lot of people out.
That bait board, Clement, look at it. FPX waiting for someone to take it away. Even Force was scared. Sketchy area of the map for him. Zoom's not even going to go near it. So FPX, we do see that Gimgoon backs away. By the way, third Elemental's going to be... third Infernal, sorry, is coming up on the map here.
Oh boy, and that's just bad news for FPX. They really wish it was something else.
Yeah. I mean, but if they get to that 40-minute mark, they're going to be happy if they get it.
Yep. So we're probably looking at a steal from Tien. I think with JD Gaming's map control, they'll be able to set up much easier, and it's so hard walking into a game flank in Galio.
Yep.
So I think FPX are just going to hover around the area, see if they get lucky with the Damascene standard.
Let's find out. Different build on the Galio this time. Going straight into the locket first of all. No redemption just yet for Lumao. Protective duty needed against Imp, who now has a more Mortis, 3-item Varus. 2 items on Yagao, of course, we've seen. The fact that Yagao is relevant in this game is a good testament to JDG as a unit. There's a Void Staff on Doombe, who has a Petrifying Gaze available. All ultimates up here on Summoner's Rift, apart from Yagao, but there's not even a cooldown. Baron still hovered around, and the slower this game goes, the better it looks for FPX.
Definitely. JD Gaming is still trying to push the tempo right here. For FPX, they have a couple of waves of dealing with this. They could try to set up first and just say, hey, our 5v5 teamfight is just better. Try to take us on our terms and make sure that they're not going to have to face check into a Baron fight. That's one way of dealing with the situation, but you do have to arrive on the scene much earlier than the enemy team. And right now, it looks like JD Gaming are not going to give them that chance. Full vision control in the bot side river. FPX, they just can't walk through.
No, they really can't. They'll see JDG walking through, trying to contest for vision. They eventually clear it out. Baron has one right in front of it that'll be spotted out. And now, JDG, do they pick this off? No. They're still in vision, waiting to clear it out. And still around the Baron, FPX have to make a move.
I don't think JD Gaming can actually start the Baron. It's going to be quite hard for them. They don't have a real tank on their team. And there's also a lot of checking ability from FPX.
If they knew Lumao was backing, it would be crucial for FPX. Heading towards the Baron anyway. JDG backed away, as you mentioned. Now the clearing of vision continues once again. There's a scuttle grab there. Yep. That's great for FPX.
Living Artillery and Damascene Standard is going to make sure that FPX actually survive all of these baits. I think what JD Gaming are just doing, they're just fishing for a kill. But Doimbe has been doing very well. He's been the one checking vision, and I really like what he's doing. It should be the support most of the time. Doimbe has Cleanse, and he also has Seraph's Embrace. So it's much easier for him to check, and I think he's been doing a good job at keeping these vision fights very close.
It's also, if you face check a Cassiopeia, Petrifying Gaze, you lose.
Yes.
Like, there is no way you survive that unless you have the reaction time of Diamond or above player. But let's be honest, you know, in this environment, very stressful environment here in the LPL, Doomby only needs one ultimate, one slip up here from JDG, and the team fight goes their way. But you can say the exact same. If FPX have that same slip up, if they get caught out, JDG could just win this game and move forward into the grand final when they started out as the underdogs, 8th seed, and they've taken the first seed to Game 5 already.
This is a really good couple of minutes from FPX. No one was caught out. They didn't lose a lot of jungle camps, and the CS has remained about stagnant. Zoom was up 40, he's still up 40. That did not change. So they've actually bought themselves a lot of times. These 3 minutes have been absolutely crucial. They do spot the Baron now, though.
Finally making a move. Doomby sliding in as well. Tello going to be channeled here, but JDG pull off the Baron's in. Going in, finds Stealth Cataclysm into the backline. LWX gets exhausted, but Zuma's already found Tian, and Yagao is trying to lock down Chris, but look at FPX. 2 kills already. They get untouched. So many damage threats for JDG to deal with. Cocoon comes through, Doomby just turns back onto Floors. The fight continues as Doomby has hit level 16. Twin Fang after Twin Fang. Floors has to flash over the wall. JDG in an open space, they stand no chance.
Oh boy, the miasma was so well done right there. It was Tian going on with the Cataclysm, Doinby flashing in and putting the miasma down. Zoom had his flash there, Imp had his flash as well. They could not make it out of the pit, knowing their tools so well.
Yagao can't jump back onto the distortion, forces around the wall. They turn for the fight, the Cocoon doesn't land. Lumao gets slowed down, Doomby wants to take the fight. Floor's still around the side, they just turn for Yagao, but there's so much mobility and Doomby can't get the miasma down onto Yagao. Movement speed from the minion zone, the Winds of War do no damage, so don't look at that. Instead, look at how FPX pull off the Baron and are heading towards the Infernal Drake. Or rather, they're just going back to Baron.
They have to go back to Baron. Like JD Gaming, they don't want to contest them there. They already have vision set up on this side of the map. They don't need to move to an unexplored area. So I like this move here.
Level 16 on Doomby. They do this so darn quick. Now that everyone's alive for JDG, Baron's going down quick. Floors has to play the 50-50. Can't get in the pit. Where does it go? The taunt coming through from Galio as FPX find themselves in the engage. FPX might be cleaned out as Chris has to flash away. LWX is going to go down as well. And that's Imp cleaning the fight. Triple kill. Make it a double for Zoom as well. Full-blown ace for JDG.
And that was just the top laners being nuclear bombs and wiping each other off the map. But JD Gaming come out ahead. They have the HP bars to live through it. FPX starting the Baron Force. They didn't have the magical resistance to hang on.
Clement, can they end the game here?
Will it actually fall right now? We have 17 seconds on 10. I don't think it's actually possible. It's going to be close, but well, I don't think JD Gaming...
They're going for it. From zero to hero, do we find ourselves an end? No.
Woo.
JDG inhibitor and out. There was potential, but it was way too risky. You're right. They back away. JDG, they deny the Baron from FPX.
This is the second Baron where a team took it and nobody got the buff.
Yep.
Everyone dropped like flies right there. It was so good on Gimgoon's side, but even better on Zoom. Catching them in a closed position, it was a turkey shoot with his barrels, and he was able to make maximum use of his abilities.
That's a 3-item gangplank, and I said in an open space, what are JDG going to do? Well, they found themselves everything, even though Tian had a
This was great. This fight was actually insane from Tian and Doinby. They get the Cataclysm, they have the miasma, there's double flashes on the carries, it doesn't matter, they go down. But JD Gaming one-up them in the end. Miasma's already used here, Lumao gets the triple man knockup, Yagao goes in, steps in, gets tons of damage, and then Zoom follows up. That's Death Starter, true damage in that fight. Also the Chains of Corruption lands as well. So Gimgoon, try as he might, he does the best possible job that he can. He's going up 1v4.
Man.
He can't break the teamwork that came out from JD
Whether
Gaming.
it's Imp, whether it's Zoom, I mean, play the Pirates of the Caribbean theme, because Zoom is Captain Bloody Jack Sparrow. And let me tell you one thing, now with an infinity edge on Gangplank,
Damn.
This is a top laner who has taken us to this point, rather.
Barrels can crit, remember that.
Yes, that was 1200 on a barrel.
Whew.
Here we go again. FPX trying to get a pick, waiting for Floors to walk forward, but with the volatile spiderling, easy to check brushes, but easy to get caught as it's Imp. It's Zoom, has to flash out. Redemption comes down, Imp's into GA. That's the pickup. Zoom gets the barrel though, and the Glacial Fissure knocks him up. Imp is down, but Tian is low. Finds himself a bit of the healing as there's Gimgoon in the front line, disjointed from the rest of his team. It feels like it. Yagao jumps on him, but the Hemoplague heals him back up. JDG get picked off, and FPX just bringing this to a knife's edge.
Yeah, they barely survived that fight. It was the same setup once more, going in with the Cataclysm, following up with Miasma, but this time JD Gaming got Zoom out in time. He was able to flash away and then deal massive amounts of damage back. You can see that right now, the target that FPX really want to get really isn't Imp anymore. It has to be Zoom.
Yeah.
Because, well, Zoom has the damage to 1v5 at this point. It's just that simple.
Infinity Edge does that. You can see when JDG are looking for a target as well, it's LWX that they're going for. GAME5 has not been too much of a threat, but we'll watch this one again from 10. Good engage.
Yeah, this was a really good find, but you can see the Miasma was just a little bit slow, so Zoom was able to get out of the fight just in time, use his flash right there. If the Miasma landed, I think that would be a clean wipe from FPX. They could have followed up with another 2 kills, so a very critical flash being used.
Oh, Yagal's found GAME5. Hang on a minute, the 1v1's going to turn into a 2v1 as Tien comes in as well. Yagal going to have to distort out of the way. No follow-up indeed as Yagal level 16. Cooldown's not a problem here.
Yeah, really close fight there, but GAME5 read the chain positioning correctly. Dodges to the top side.
Just showing you how fed Yagal actually is at this point as well. 3 items. While Duombi does have an extra item on him with the Rylai's Crystal Scepter. FPX now charging up the mid lane. Baron's up in 1 minute 50. They're hitting their item spikes, they're hitting their points, and FPX have closed the gold gap as well.
So key thing right here is JD Gaming don't actually have a front line. FPX have the flash advantages.
They could go last time.
That is true. But they could do flash, Cataclysm into Miasma, and kill Zoom instantly.
Yeah.
They actually have the tools to do it this time around. You cannot cleanse the Miasma whatsoever, even if you use your orange. Remove Scurvy does not take away persistent effects like the Miasma. So I actually think the FPS, their best chance might be pushing the tempo right now, making sure that Zoom cannot survive another engage. And if you take down Zoom, the rest of the team's not that hard to deal with.
Yeah, you want to get him now before he gets that GA. Stopwatch in hand. As soon as Zoom gets GA as well, there's ability for JDG to outplay these fights so much more. If you land everything onto the top lane carry in the gangplank here.
This next Baron or Elder is going to be absolutely crucial. I think the way JD Gaming should play it out is that they should be willing to just take one or the other. Like, that's the safest bet they have. For FPX, since these objectives are going to come up before Zoom's flash, they should be setting up in position. They want to make this entire game just about this one team fight. Forget whatever happened before.
It's come down to this point here in game number 5. Both teams look even. It's about individual outplays and skill. Yagal does not get spotted out there with the Scryer's bloom to the side. Those Baron timers and Elder Dragons are correct, ladies and gentlemen. It's coming up soon, but Tien just wants to force the fight. Remember, front to back, this is good. Zoom locked on down, goes Golden there with a stopwatch as FPX are in a choke. Duombi at half health. They're onto Zoom. Can they find him? The flash forward. Yagal!
He finds Duombi.
Gets Duombi on the side. GAME5 has to flash in. Can the Vladimir get AoE? He can't. Oh my god, Yagal, you menace. LWX is still alive and JDG are low, so that's why this 3v5 is still on the ropes.
That was so insane. It looked like a good fight for FPX. I thought they were going to be able to clean that up, but the damage stopped from Duombi. Yagal managed to find him through the backline. Instant assassination. GAME5 is left by his lonesome. All the timers we were talking about happened that fight. They were setting up around Elder.
Oh, no.
They were going all in on Zoom. It didn't work out.
They got to back away. Here comes the teleport. It's Zoom. Barrel's at the ready. Jack Sparrow is back in.
Oh my god.
It's 2. Zoom will get launched on, but T instead. JDG. This is the fight. Goodbye, support. Hello, Zoom.
And JD Gaming are going to advance. That was 4,000 damage in a single skirmish from Zoom. There's no one in the path anymore. Only Duombi and GAME5. They have to hold off 5 members from JD Gaming.
And JDG Zoom launches down. He says, why is the rum gone? For JDG, they launch forward. This is the fight that ends all. For JDG, the first Nexus turret, GAME5 has to save the game. Hemoplague
finds one.
Imp getting low. GAME5 needs to save it. Can the top laner do it? He can't. Imp auto-attacking, but he's hitting the turret. Imp just hit the Vladimir, but he can't. GAME5 saves it, but soon Yagal, isn't it the story of JDG? The Dumpling Brothers unite, and in Game 5, the miracle run for JDG sends them to the grand final.
JD Gaming, this is the